So I guess the gun-grabbing left had suffered a defeat today, and I just saw this story just a few minutes ago, so I had to print it out real quick, and I want to kind of go over this with you real quick. What basically the story says is the U.S. Supreme Court on Thursday struck down a New York State gun control law that required gun owners seeking a license to carry a concealed handgun to demonstrate a proper cause to do so. And it goes on, it says, in a 6-3 ruling, the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association Incorporated versus Bruin, the court reversed lower court decisions upholding New York's law and delivered the most significant victory for gun rights in more than a decade. I guess basically this New York Rifle and Pistol Association was in this battle with Bruin, B-R-U-E-N, and the decision was that they reversed it. The lower courts had maintained it, but the Supreme Court reversed it. The story is that two men had applied for unrestricted licenses to carry a handgun in public in New York, and they claimed that they wanted to carry their firearms for self-defense. If you live in New York or anywhere around New York City, I can't blame them for that. Now, the New York State rejected their application, saying that they failed to meet the state's proper cause requirement. And I guess that proper cause is that you have to have a legitimate reason that you need to carry a concealed handgun. And I'm not going to go into that because you know you don't need to have a specific reason to carry a handgun. But anyway, they failed to meet that state's proper cause requirement. So they sued and fought the case through all through the lower courts after they had made their decisions all the way up to the Supreme Court. Now, the Supreme Court did declare that New York's law was unconstitutional on the 14th Amendment grounds, saying that New York prevented law-abiding citizens with ordinary self-defense needs from exercising their Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. Now, here's what it says. It says, in this case, petitioners and respondents agree that ordinary law-abiding citizens have a similar right to carry handguns publicly for their self-defense. We too agree and now hold consistent with Heller and McDonald that the Second and 14th Amendments protect an individual's right to carry a handgun for self-defense outside the home, the court said. Goes on. Because the state of New York issues public carry licenses only when an applicant demonstrates a special need for self-defense, we conclude that the state's licensing regime violates the Constitution. And Justice Thomas delivered the majority opinion for the court, and he said, the constitutional right to bear arms in public for self-defense is not a second-class right, subject to an entirely different body of rules than the other Bill of Rights guarantees. Good for you, Justice Thomas. He goes on, we know of no other constitutional right that an individual may exercise only after demonstrating to the government officer some special need. This is not how the First Amendment works when it comes to unpopular speech or the free exercise of religion. It is not how the Sixth Amendment works when it comes to a defendant's right to confront the witness against him, and it is not how the Second Amendment works when it comes to public carry for self-defense. And as expected, 3 liberal judges dissented and said they would have upheld the law. Now here's where it gets interesting, and you won't be surprised by this. Democratic Governor Hochul called it shocking. Yeah, no surprise there. Get this. She says, absolutely shocking that they have taken away our right to have reasonable restrictions. They've taken away our right to have reasonable restrictions. We can have restrictions on speech, she says. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater, but somehow there's no restrictions allowed on the Second Amendment. Really? Really, Governor? You think that restrictions on yelling fire in a theater is the same thing as carrying a concealed handgun for self-protection? You know, these liberal wackos it's just so hard to figure them out. Anyway, wanted to get that out. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more in the news about this, and you're probably going to see a lot more uploads on this as well. I just want to kind of get it out there. I just saw this just a few minutes ago, and printed it out so I could share it. If you guys like this, give me a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber yet, go ahead and subscribe right now and be sure and hit that notification bell. Share this with your friends. You guys have a blessed day.